Hey guys, this is Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we are back with another Leaks of the Week. This week is the 27th to 31st, so we do have a new series. We have SAO II Extra Booster coming out on the 28th, and we also have Nanoha Movie Booster, which is also coming out on the 28th. And of course, Checkers did pre-order the extra boosters, and my friend Domo has pre-ordered the Idolmaster Movie Boosters. So if you guys are looking to both of those series, you can definitely expect those to be on the channel. And yeah, it'll be a very exciting week for very exciting month for the channel, I should say. So I hope you guys look forward to it. And with that out of the way, I'll just get right to it. First off, Mondays is Xenon 104KR avatar and weapon. What this card does is for every avatar or net character you control, this card gains plus 500 power, and it has Clock Encore. This card is really good. It's pretty much exact carbon copy of the 104K Onodeta from Nisekoi. I do run that card in my deck, and that card has been doing I'm very happy with that card. That card is very good. It's a 106K that just sticks around and annoys your opponent, and it just usually stays there all the way to level 3. So that Onodeta is very good, and of course, this Xenon being an exact copy of it should be no exception. Of course, I'm sure many people are asking, what is better, the Xenon or the Liz from the first booster? I don't even know how to find it because I'm sure many of you guys do know it, but I'm gonna look it up anyways. Liz, oh no, Lizbeth changing. Yep, here we go. So, of course, I'm sure many SAO or many players know about this card because this card is very good. It's a 1045, gets 500 per avatar or net. This card can hit a max of 1065 before assist. However, this card only hits 106k before assist, so it does lose 500 in power compared to the Elizabeth changing. However, this card having Clock Encore, I think makes this card very playable. Or I think it makes this card a lot better because the Encore is just really valuable. So yeah, in general, the Xenon is a very, very good card and a very welcome addition to SAO 2. Next up is this Haruka 216KR Music and Sweets. Once again, I'm just going to mention this. With the Idolmaster cards, I don't know that much about them. I do apologize. I'm not too familiar with like the really old sets the old sets that have many sets. Like the Capo, it has like 5 sets and it's pretty old. Little Busters, I believe, is one of the starting sets, and it has a lot of boosters. I don't know a lot about Little Busters. Same thing with Idolmaster. It's a pretty old set, and I don't know like all the really old cards in it. So if I am missing some obvious synergy, please do let me know. I have a small amount of knowledge with Idolmaster because my friend does own an Idolmaster deck, but still I don't know like every card in the set like I do with like Love Live or something. So if I'm missing something obvious, do let me know. So once again, with that out of the way, 216KR Music and Sweets Haruka. Um, she's a 1K global for Sweets, which I'm assuming is only Haruka's. And her other effect is once it's played from hand to stage, you may pay 1. If you do, choose a level 0 or lower character in the waiting room and play it onto any border on your stage. The 1K global to Sweets I think is cool. However, I uh, I don't know how good the Haruka cards are, but do keep in mind every card in the series is music. Follow along with another trait. So there's music and sweets, music and camera, music and sports, music and animal, music and frog, etc., etc., etc. So they're all music, but each character does have their subtyping according to their personality. Haruka is being music and sweets. Um, I mean, I guess the 1K global is cool. However, do keep in mind it's only for sweets, so it's only for Haruka. So it's only gonna be for this card is really only gonna be for Haruka fan decks or Haruka waifu decks. I never seen the better Idolmaster builds or the optimal Idolmaster builds are very diverse and run a lot of different girls. So this card I can't see this card being used in the actual optimal deck. And its other effect is kind of meh because you pay 1 and you do get a level 0 from your waiting room and play it onto any board on the stage. You do that is a +1. However, it's a level 0, and level 0s don't gain their on play effects when they're played from waiting room because they have to be played from hand to stage, not from waiting room to stage. So in general, I don't think this card is going to be really used in the better builds. However, it's a nice card for the Haruka waifu decks, and it being her in a swimsuit, it's pretty sexy. So I'm sure Haruka fans are ecstatic about this card. Next up is Tuesday's leak. Next up is this Asuna 218KR. Fairly interesting, just right off the bat because it's yellow. I thought this trial deck was gonna be red, blue, for having Death Gun being the red cards and Asuna and Sinon and Kirito being blue. So I thought this trial deck was just gonna be red, blue. However, this, as we can see with this Asuna, it's gonna be yellow, red, blue. They might add green. I really don't think they should add green. There's only like what 2 scenes with Lifa, and all she's really doing is talking to Kirito in the living room. Whatever. Maybe there'll be green, but I really don't think there will be. But anyways, with this, we know that yellow is gonna be in the set, and this card is it's Avatar and Weapon. What this card does is the ClimaxCombo was on top of the World Tree. I'm pretty sure that is this card right here. I'm sure you guys have seen this card. This card is the win trigger for SAO II. This card is the ClimaxCombo that combos with the level 3 Asuna and the second booster. So this card also combos with the same climax as the level 3 Asuna. So when you have the win trigger, you may pay cost, which is discard a card. If you do, switch your deck for 1 Light of Hope Asuna and up to 1 Avatar or Net character shown to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Light of Hope Asuna, I'm sure you guys know, is the level 3 from the second booster, and this level 3 is fairly good level 3 just because of the fact that you can burn 1 on attack, or on cancel, you can burn 1. So this card being able to grab the level 3 and anything else is pretty good, and it combos with the Wind Trigger. Wind Trigger is already pretty good, and yeah. However, this card does only break even. Do keep that in mind because you play the climax. That's -1 in your hand. You have to discard a card from your hand. That is a -2. However, you grab 2 cards, help allows you breaking even. It's pretty good because you get to search for anything and you get to grab a level 3. So it helps you prepare for level 3, and it helps you prepare for any situation that you're in right now. So in general, I do think this is a good climax combo. However, is it gonna be used over the win trigger that the 1-0 invitation to party Asuna already have? I don't really think so, just because the invitation to party Asuna is faster, because it can come out as early as level 1. It's costless, it's a bond target. However, this one being 218k, it costs 1. Her being a very undersized level 2, and a bit slower because you have to wait till level 2 to use this card's effect. So I think just because invitation to party Asuna exists, I don't think this card is going to be ran. But yeah, by itself it's okay, but because the series has better options, I don't think it's going to be ran. But definitely not a bad choice if you do opt to run this card, and if you're running up level 3. So yeah. Next up is this Chihaya. She's 213k R music and camera. What she does is she's a 1k global for all music characters, so right off the bat she's a little better than the Haruka. And what she does is when she's played from hand to stage, you may pay 1. If you do, choose 1 Chihaya's camera from your waiting room and return it to your hand. Chihaya's camera is this event right here, 1-0 uncommon. What this card does is when you play this event, look at top 4 cards of your deck, choose 1 music character amongst them, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, the rest go to the waiting room. It's essentially Junketsu, but for music characters. And Junketsu is already a pretty good event card because it helps mill through your deck, it helps you grab a card, and yeah, for those 2 reasons alone, Junketsu is good. So this Chihaya's camera is by no means is no exception. This is a good event by itself. However, it gets that much better with the Chihaya because this Chihaya can grab the event because it's pay 1 plus essentially, and then you get to mill through your deck that much faster. And she's a good card on her own because she's a 1k global for characters, and the art on this card is fairly cute as well in my opinion. So in general, I don't think there's nothing bad with this card, and the event by itself is good. So I think so in general, I think these 2 cards are very good. Is it going to be used over the other options? I don't know because I don't know all the good cards in Idolmaster, but I think by themselves they're a good duo / combo, whatever you want to call it. They're good cards. So yeah. Next up is Wednesday. We got we got this guy 214k common Man, what's with all these assists? So what he does is he's a 1k global to weapon characters, and his other effect is your opponents or characters in the backstage gain the target trait, which is fairly nice because of the target synergy in the deck. So 1k global and giving your opponent target trait, not a bad card at all for those target centric decks. Next up is this Miki 2175R. She's music and love. What she does is when she's played from hand to stage, this card gains power X until the end of the turn, where X is the number of music characters you control multiplied by 500. So she does include herself. And her other effect is when she reverses a level 2 or greater card in battle, you may pay cost, which is 1. If you do, choose a card from your waiting room, return it to your hand. So yeah, honestly, this Miki is pretty meh because it'll be a 2/1 10k on play. However, you have to reverse a level 2 or greater card in battle. Level 2s generally hit 2/1 8k, 2/1 8/5, and she's only a 2/1 10k. You'll still be in backup range of a 3k backup, which is the standard backup power range for level 2s. So her is still sitting at the level 2 backup range, and yeah, makes her a bit difficult to get off. So for those reasons, I don't think this card is very good because it's only strong on play, and it can be a little bit difficult for you to get her plus effect because she has to reverse level 2, and at level 2 she's very susceptible to backups, and yeah, for those reasons alone, I don't think she's going to be used. And also, a lot of decks don't really focus on a level 2 game, they just kind of focus on a level 3 game, and if they don't have any level 2s to reverse, then this card can't be used. And if their level 2 game is to get out an early level 3, like Nisekoi, like they only run one level 2, which is the 2/1 free refresh Onodeta, and then at level 2 they have the level 3 Onodetas out. If the only target is the level 3 Onodeta, you ain't killing that, and then this card becomes dead useless in your hand. Just one example. So, and there are, many examples I can use, but still, that's the best one at the top of my head. So yeah, if you're playing up against Nisekoi, you can pretty much just clock this card because it ain't gonna do jack for you. Next up, Thursday's League. October 30th, this Xenon 001KR. Avatar and Weapon. What this card does is during your opponent's turn, your other character in the middle border of the front stage gains plus 1k. And its other effect is a Brainstorm. You can pay 1 mill top 4 as per usual. If for every climax you hit, search your deck for up to X avatar or net character, show it to your opponent, add them to your hand, shuffle your deck, then discard X cards from your hand to the waiting room. And of course, X is the number of climaxes you hit. So if you hit 2 climaxes, you search out 2 avatar net characters to your hand, and then you discard 2 avatar or net characters, and then you discard 2 cards. So it's a very good hand filter, and it is a spammable Brainstorm because you don't get to plus. So I think in general this Xenon Brainstorm is very good because of the very strong hand filter, and since you do grab the cards from your deck, it does help you compress more. So if you hit 2 climaxes after you milled the 4, you search out 2 more cards in your deck, allows you compressing by 6 cards, taking out 6 cards from your deck. And of course, this being spammable, you can just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. So in general, I think this card is very good. Do keep in mind, however, if you don't want to search, like let's say you pay 1 mill 4, you hit 1 climax, you don't want to search a card in your deck, you still have to discard the amount of cards that you hit with the climax. So even though you search none, you still have to discard 1. It may sound bad, but it actually can be quite helpful in some situations, because let's say you have 5 cards left in your deck. You know one of them is a climax in there. You use the Xenon, you mill 4, you hit a climax. If you will use her effect normally, you would then have to search 1. So you would grab the 1 card left in your deck, refresh, and then you discard 1. If you have a climax in your hand that you wanted to discard via the Xenon, you can choose not to search. So once again, you have 5 cards left in your deck, you use the Brainstorm. You hit a climax, you have 1 card left in your deck, but you have a climax in your hand that you want to discard. You can choose not to search, but you still have to discard 1, and so you can discard the climax from your hand, opting you to get all the climaxes from your, getting all climaxes into waiting room before refresh. A very good example of when this effect can be helpful, so do keep that in mind. Is this card going to be used over the Klein Brainstorm? That's in SAO 1. I think that Brainstorm is very good. The Klein one from the first booster. Is he the only Klein card? Oh, I don't even know how to spell Klein. There we go. The only Klein card. This card, Spammable Brainstorm, very good in the first booster. Will the Xeno replace it? I think so. However, I wouldn't be surprised if people still opted for the Klein Brainstorm because the Klein Brainstorm is really good too. However, I do think the Xeno one is really good too, so I think it can go either way. I would probably run the Xenon one just because Xenon is cuter than Klein. So yeah. Anyways, let's go on. 00 Yayoi. 15, she's an R. She's music and frog. During your own turn, all your frog characters gain plus 500. And she's Brainstorm. You can pay 1, place this card to rest, middle top 4. For every climax amongst them, search your deck for up to 1 frog character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Of course, this card only works once again for Yayoi fan decks because Yayoi is the only frog in the series. And of course, her first effect, only affecting frogs, is the dead giveaway. However, her Brainstorm, only searching frogs, is another dead giveaway that this card is meant for Yayoi decks. And I'm not really here to talk about waifu decks because in waifu decks anything goes. And yeah, in general, waifu card only. Next up is this Iori 115KR, music and doll. Once again, for every doll character you control, this card gains plus 500 power, so she can hit a 117k at max. Her other effect is when this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may clock yourself 1 damage. If you do, choose a card from your clock and return it to your hand. Then place the top card of your deck to your clock. This card can be pretty good for those Yayoi decks because if you have a full field of doll characters, she is a 117k, hitting at vanilla power. However, her other effect is quite nice because it's a free filter in your clock. Or it's a free plus actually because you just grab a card from your clock, add it to your hand. Or you clock yourself 1 damage, 2 plus. However, that is still really good, especially at level 1. Just clocking yourself to plus is very powerful. Something like Vivid Blue, when you shoot reverse something, you clock yourself to draw a card. Really good effect, and this Yayoi is by any means no exception. However, do keep in mind that it's probably only going to be used in those Yayoi-centric decks because you need a full field of dolls for her to hit 117k. If you don't have a full field of dolls, if you only have 4, if you only have 3 other doll characters, she's only a 1165, and at that point, it's kind of it's going to be more difficult for you to actually kill level 1. And if any weaker than that, if she's a 106k, you're probably not going to even kill anything at level 1, assuming most of the time your opponent is going to have a backup. However, this card can kill level 0s and still get her effect off because there's no level restriction to it, so you can still technically pull it off. However, I'm going to say that this card should be left alone for those Yayoi-centric or Iori-centric decks because without a lot of Ioris on the field, it's going to be too hard for her to reverse anything. So yeah, good card for those Iori decks. I don't know how popular she is, so I don't know how I don't know how often that's going to happen. But anyways, I don't know much about Idolmaster anyways. Lastly, Friday Leak, always the best stuff. So first off is this Death Gun, 3/2, 10k R, 2 soul, avatar, and weapon. When this card declares an attack, if all your opponent's characters have the trait target, deal 1 damage to your opponent on attack, which is very good on its own. Its other effect is when this card declares an attack with the ClimaxCombo, the Destined S-Dock user, which is of course the 2k1 you see right here. Until the end of the turn, until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card gains plus 2/5 power and the following ability. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may place the card to the top of its owner's deck. I think this card, it can be, and once again the 2k1, it is Climax Common. Oh wow, that's nice of them. Anyway, so Death Gun. I think he's pretty good in a trait-centric deck because of course you need to have all your opponent's characters need to have the trait target for his first effect to go off, and his first effect is by far, I think, his best effect. This is actually quite possible if you do focus your deck around it, because as we saw, the 2-1 assist is a 1k global, which is good on itself. Also, we have the level 0 trial deck guy. I'll just find him really quick. Where is he, Kyoji? There you go, Kyoji. You can tap 2 to give 2 other characters target trait. And then, so that's 2 in the back because of the assist. and you have another of this guy in the back, you can choose 2 characters to the front row. That's only 4 cards, but I'm sure there'll be other cards. Like you can even toss in this guy and put him in front of something else, and then you'll have all 5 characters in the front row having the target trait. This first effect can be a bit difficult to get off. Kind of depends on what else the series has to offer. But I'm sure there'll be more Death Gun cards in the series. So this first effect is really scary, but do keep in mind you have to focus your deck around it. The 2K1 combo in itself is powerful as well because he gains plus 2/5 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So he'll be a 10, 3/2, 12/5. I'm gonna assume that you're gonna have this guy on the back, so he'll be a 13,500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. If you have this guy in the back, then he'll probably be, oh no, not that guy. This guy in the back, then he'll be around 14k before backup, which is pretty difficult, which will probably be pretty difficult for your opponent to climb over. And if he lives an extra turn, then that's another turn of him attacking your opponent for more damage, and that's quite a nuisance. Also, his effect puts something on top of your opponent's deck. When he does successfully reverse something, adds that much more to the game-ending power of Death Gun. So in general, I think this is a very cool card for the Death Gun decks because, we've been seeing all these trait things, and we've seen pretty good cards that synergize with the trait cards. However, of course, like, every deck needs a boss monster, and this is the boss monster for those target trait decks, and I think he's a very cool and good one, and it's very fitting of his character. Him comboing the 2K1 is also good because the 2K1 of course helps you break even and gives more power to Death Gun to help him kill something, because he'll be 4/5 the turn you use his Climax combo, allowing you to probably reverse anything, putting it on top, and then if you have another Death Gun, he deals 1, and the 1 damage he will deal, assuming he attacks after another Death Gun, will be guaranteed, and then he will put something back on top, and then the last character can help you end the game. So in general, I do really like this Death Gun card. I think it's really cool. It actually gives a meaning to players. It gives an incentive for players to make a Death Gun deck. And since the other Death Gun Climax combo is with a gate, and this Climax combo is with the 2K1, your Climax lineup will probably be 4 2K1s and 4 gates, which is a very powerful Climax lineup in itself. So in general, like I said many times, I like this Death Gun, and I think it's really cool. Next up is this Ritsuko 004K. Double R? Are you serious? I didn't notice that. Wow, okay, so the first double R of the set has been announced, and it's not very exciting. She's music and glasses. When she's played from half stage, middle top 2 cards of your deck to the waiting room. If there are any Climax amongst them, place this card to your stock. Not a bad card at all. Her being 004K, oversized level 0. Very oversized level 0, I should say. She does need to have a downside, which is, of course, you mill yourself 2. If there's a Climax amongst them, she goes into stock, making you -1. However, at level 0, you are the least compressed. So you have a high chance of not hitting any Climaxes. And, if you don't hit any Climaxes, that's 2 damage gone that you could have taken. And, worst case scenario, you do hit a Climax. She goes into your stock. It sucks at level 0 because then you're forced to commit another card in your hand. However, not the worst thing ever because it does go into your stock, helping you, gain, it's stock, and stock is always appreciated. So, double R worthy? I don't think so. But, not every double R in the series can be good. And I'm sure there'll be definitely a lot more better double Rs down the line. So the first one has been revealed. Pretty... not very exciting, I should say, but what can you do? And then next up, we got the Manager. 2/1, 4K common, music and glasses. What he does is when he has a marker underneath this card gains the following ability. All your music characters gain plus 2K, or all your music characters in front of this card gains plus 2K. His other effect is during the start of your next draw phase, place this card to memory. If you do, during the start of your next draw phase, choose one watching over the growth producer from your memory and place it onto any border on the stage. Then place the top card of your deck underneath him as a marker. So, and of course, watching over their growth producer is this card itself. So pretty much you play him, put him to the back, send him off to memory. Next turn he comes back. You put the top card of your deck underneath him as a marker, and then now the characters in front of him gain plus 2k power. So he's kind of a slow assist. However, when he does come back, he'll give 2k in front of him, which can be quite a nuisance. I think this is a very interesting card. Yes, it is slow. However, do keep in mind he's a 2k assist in front. And that's that's stupid. That's like as strong as level 3 Hanakawa. Yeah, that's as strong as a level 3 Hanakawa assist, because that's a 3-2 10k, or it's a 2k in front assist. And if you use this effect twice, then you can become a 4k assist. Right? When this card has a marker underneath it. Oh no, I don't think you can stack it. You can keep doing it, however. Wait, no, you can't keep doing it. Yeah, because when he sends himself into memory, he'll lose the markers. Never mind, I'm stupid. Pretty much he's a slow assist that gives a 2k in front. And yeah, interesting card. However, I don't know if this card will be used because, of course, once again, it's slow. Also, the fact that it's yellow. I don't think yellow is one of the better colors. I know red and blue is really good in Idolmaster. I'm not too sure about yellow. Maybe yellow will improve the colors, but as of right now, I'm pretty sure yellow's not that good. So you're gonna have to be forced to run yellow for this guy. And he's a bit slow, but when you do get him off, he helps you compress by 1, because most of the time the card underneath him won't be a climax. And also he's a 2k in front assist, which can be very problematic for your opponent to deal with. But however, if your opponent is running bounce or back row disruption, this card becomes really, 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 really bad and inconsistent. So the fact that, of course, in Weiss Schwarz, you guys know there's no side decking. So don't really see this guy going to be used because, like I said, any back row disruption is going to really hurt this guy and really going to hurt you if you play them. You're probably better off with normal level assist. But a very interesting card for a common. So yeah, don't think it's going to be used, but once again, an interesting card. And it's a pretty funny card. And, Idolmaster has so many options because it has so many boosters and a lot of good cards in it. So yeah, maybe he'll be used. I don't know. But I wouldn't run him. So yeah, that is all. And the cards underneath are the Chaos cards. I don't know anything about Chaos. I just do know that Chaos is a bit more consistent. It's actually has a tier list. The powerful decks are very obvious. That's just from what I hear, and it seems interesting. But I don't have the money to play 2-card games. So yeah, Chaos cards, they're pretty cute as well. Yeah, pretty cute. Anyways, that is all I have for this video, guys. This week was a lot of good cards in my opinion. The 1-0 Xenon is cool, very good. I like this Chihaya a lot. I think it's cool, and this art is pretty cute as well. This guy's good for Death Gun decks. Miki sucks, I'm sorry. The Xenon is cool and good. Yori's interesting, and I really like the Death Gun. I think it's cool. The 2k1 combo is good. The Itsuko is a bit boring for a double R, and the manager I don't think is going to be used. But yeah, that is all I have for this video, guys. And until next time.